Hi there, welcome back to a new video. I just wanted to make a new video about setbacks because I've covered it on before, but I just wanted to add in some extra information. So when you're making progress and you suddenly feel like you've been hit again with a surge of anxiety, normally what actually holds us back isn't the kind of the surge of anxiety we feel with slip back into old habits. It's the way we react to the setback. It's the lack of knowledge we have about setbacks, and it's our conditioned response, shall we say? Because if we've had setbacks in the past, usually we're going to respond to it. We're going to react to it in a way which isn't really productive. It's going to strengthen the anxiety because of how we're reacting to it, and usually we react to it through fear, through resistance, through frustration, and obviously that sort of reaction is what fuels the anxiety. So we can learn through educating ourselves on setbacks what they are, and we can then change our reaction to them, which allows us to kind of not get caught up in that cycle again where we just stay where we are. Because really, looking back now, the reason why I kind of why I had setbacks and why I stayed there for a while isn't necessarily the setback. The setback was actually not a problem. The setback is just a normal part of the recovery process. So what held me back was just my reaction to it, my frustration, and just this unnecessary response of guilt. I responded with guilt, which I didn't really need to. I didn't really need to feel guilty because, it was something that was expected. Setbacks happen regardless, and they happen with everything in life. Whatever thing you're trying to achieve or make progress with, setbacks are going to happen. So it's important to understand that responding to setbacks by not beating yourself up, by understanding that they are a part of the journey, they are a part of the recovery process, and that you don't need to fear them. You don't need to get frustrated by them or judge yourself for having setbacks, because you know they're a part of the process, like I keep saying. But yeah, so the truth is you haven't lost the progress you've made. All the things you've learned, the progress you've made hasn't all been undone. It hasn't all been knocked down. That foundation you created is still there. It's just that at the moment, temporarily, you are going through another period of high anxiety or sensitization, whatever you want to call it. But it doesn't mean that you've slipped back to square one. It just means that the nervous system is just in overdrive at the moment. But if you put into practice what you've learned so far, which has helped you, and just be patient and understand that it will pass, then you will move out of that setback and you will feel even stronger and be motivated, to continue your journey. So just keep that in mind. Understand that setbacks are a crucial part of the journey, and that you don't need to fear them. You don't need to fight them. If you just hang in there and carry on with what you're doing, carry on with the process, keep responding to anxiety in a way that's actually productive, like acceptance and not trying to make it go away. And yeah, that's really what to say about setbacks. And also, when you get that urge and then feelings and the thoughts arise, oh no, something's wrong with me, I'm back to square one, I'm obviously not making any progress, that's a trap. That's not true. That's another illusion that we need to be aware of here, because you are making progress. A setback means that you've made progress and that you will make progress again going forward. But all the things like jumping onto Google to research about things, it's like this, we feel compelled to do it, this like urge. So we feel like everything's an emergency and anxiety, and we feel under threat, don't we? But obviously we are not under threat, we're safe. So we need to prove this to our brain, the emotional part of the brain, which is responsible for anxiety and whatnot. So yeah, so all that habits like jumping onto Google, this reassurance seeking behaviours, going on forums, always talking about it, going back to the doctors when you've already been diagnosed with anxiety and you've had that reassurance. These are just kind of, these are counterproductive behaviours which are going to reinforce that anxiety, keep us in that disorder. So hopefully you understand what I've said in this video and that you feel reassured that a setback is nothing to worry about and that you don't need to fear it or fight it, and that you don't need to act on the urges that your anxiety is kind of telling you to act on, the urges to keep you safe. But you don't need to be safe. You don't need to act like you need to be saved, because you're already safe and you always have been safe. So that's my 2 cents on setbacks. I'm probably sure I've missed something out because I've always got ideas going through my head and I don't always kind of get them out at one time, so you have to bear with me on that. Okay then, I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye now.